Well, so a great day for the Midwest, and we wish, of course, the Geelong Buccaneers all the best in the big game this evening. And of course, there'll be a lot of people already down there, but a lot of people streaming that game this evening. And we do wish the Geelong Buccaneers all the best. They played very well last week, and they've got through to a grand final, which is a big effort in itself. But of course, it's a one-off. You've got to be on your mettle, and you've got to get everything right, and that's the big one. Today in the footy here, with thanks to Drill and O'Malley Motors, we can tell you there's going to be a big contest. Northampton, when they last played, it was a pretty solid win by Northampton. Northampton got the job done by 59 points. They, on paper, read very, very well. A very, very good side, both these sides. And Northampton at the moment seem closer to full strength than Railways. And Peter, I'll get you to read the Railway side out, but I'll run through the Northampton side for today. And from the full-back line, we've got Jared Woodcock, Jack McQueen, Taylor Green. Halfbacks, Kai McVie, Callum Teakle and Michael Wright. Centre line of Connor Westbrook, Braden Jupp and Hayden Bartolo. Halfbacks, Kingsley Smith, Jack Cripps and Trent Simpson. Then you've got the full forward line of Kyle Cripps, Harry Taylor and also Bo Walker. First ruck is Josh Cripps, Tyler Caddy and Jamie Williams. And the interchange players will come from Paletti, Holmes, Berry and Harris. So Northampton have come up with a pretty good side, and it looks like a pretty big opportunity for Northampton. Northampton pretty well close to full strength, and of course they will make the decision in the weeks to come, or the week to come, whether Flynn Dillon will come straight back in, but I think they'll probably not risk him next week when he comes back from his Europe holidays, and may give him a week or two if they are good enough to get through into the grand final to get himself some sort of fitness prior to the grand final. But an interesting call there, and Northampton very, very strong. They've got a good midfield, a good up forward, and they've got a pretty steady back six. And they're up against the Railway side, who have been very good against the bottom sides, struggled against the top sides. And you've got the Railway side in front of you.
I do, Glenn. From the back line, it reads Ruben Ulrich, Elliot Delaney and Ted Kerr. The half-back line, Clint Harrington, Drew Tunbridge and Jack Connell. The centre line is Henry Anderson, Matt Kimbley and Antonio Priolo. And the half-forward line is Dion Anthony, Jesse Moore and Jackson Graham. And the full-forward line comprises of Declan Scriven, Ryan Letessia and Jesse Adamini. The first ruck, or the ruck division, is Michael McConnell, Jace Price and Corey Clark, while the interchange will come from Delaney, Drage, Giltro and Bunter.
Yeah, good to see the Railways side have come here to play, and of course there's a lot to play for today. We're playing for a second semi-final spot, and we know that tradition shows that if you get into the second semi-final, you win your second semi-final, your chances of winning the grand final. Of course, that all went out the window last year because Rovers came from fourth and got the job done, and I'm sure that neither Railways or Northampton want to play Rovers next week in the elimination first semi-final. Brigades are red-hot favourites, of course, and they're going along their merry way, sitting on top of the premiership table. So looking forward to a big contest here today. How do you see it, Peter? Who are you going for?
Well, it's pretty hard to go past. We're looking at those lineups, Glenn, and the form of recent weeks. Even though Railways had a big win last week, it was at the hands of a very much depleted Mullawar side. But Northampton got the monkey off their back, so to speak, when they beat Rovers here at Purcher International Oval. They are hitting their straps at the right time of the year, and I think today they would like to send out a warning to all and sundry that they're ready for the finals in 2023.
So the interchange players are coming off for Northampton, and we'll pick those up as the day goes on. So interesting to see who they are. One of them is Cam Holmes. So he's a player who we've seen a lot of. He's a very hard-working player, so looking forward to him this afternoon, but interesting to see how it plays out. In the centre, it's going to be very interesting. We've got big MJ McConnell, the Railways ruckman, back from injury, up against the young Josh Cripps. So this will be a big contest, and that'll be very entertaining indeed. We've got Braden Jupp trying to win the ball out of the centre as the captain for Northampton. And we've also got the experience of Jamie Williams. In there for Railways, we've got players such as Jack Connell, also perhaps another player there in Corey Clark and Matt Kimbley. Umpire Brian Cohen holds the ball aloft, and we're underway in this first term with thanks to the Community Bank Geraldton. Josh Cripps has the best of it. In goes Tyler Caddy. Ball doesn't go the way he wants. Picked up by the Railways player there in Bartolo. In fact, it's Priolo. Priolo gets it towards the boundary line, off hands, and the ball will be thrown in just on the half-forward line. So, interesting times here. Northampton are going to the northern end. Harry Taylor playing at full forward. Ryan Letizia playing at the other end of the ground for Railways, the golf club end. Ball comes in from the boundary throw-in. Northampton player has the ball held to him straight away, and the umpire, Cohen, has no option but to come in and throw the ball up on centre wing here at Purcher International Oval.
Slight breeze favouring the northern end, to which Northampton are kicking in this turn. Brigade's getting it out of the pack. Going to ground is their player in Anderson. He's unable to collect. A bit of a tackle by the youngster in Giltro around his opposite number. The umpire says no prior opportunity, and he comes in to relieve the pressure. Up they go again. It's knocked down by the big fellow in Cripps. Goes to ground for Northampton. Will they come out of the pack with it? They do, through the guise of Kingsley Smith. He's tackled a little high. They won't pay advantage down the ground. In fact, he was caught in possession, according to the umpire, and the ball will come back, and a free kick will go to the big ruckman for Railways, and that is Michael McConnell. Michael McConnell, nice little handball, gets it over now to Delaney. Delaney, a nice kick inside the corridor, but it's marked, stopped right in the middle at the half-back line by Cripps. Cripps puts it onto his boot. That's Jack Cripps. He sends it out into space. Running onto it is the clever player, and I'm talking about the player there in Kingsley Smith. He slaps it forward, moves into the full forward line, and there is another Cripps. There are Crippses everywhere here this afternoon, and we see a mark is taken on the half-forward flank. So he now will have a shot on goal. So he gets around and gets ready to shoot. We're talking about Cale. So Cale Cripps, wearing number 9. So he coming back into the lineup. Didn't play a lot of footy last season, Glenn, with Northampton. Good to see him back. He's on a reasonable angle. One would think comes around the player on the mark. Got it. Player blows his whistle, but the ball sails straight through, and Cale Cripps scores the first goal of the afternoon to Northampton. One straight goal, and they lead Railways yet to open their accounts.
Yeah, Northampton started well. Cale Cripps is a very, very hard-working player, as you mentioned, Peter, and it's good to see him back playing footy. He's the sort of player you want in finals footy because he's nice and tight, he's hard, and is very, very dogged when it comes to
could have had a waffle career, really, couldn't he, Glenn?
He did, yeah. He went down there, had a tryout, didn't work out, but that doesn't diminish his efforts, and he's certainly a very, very good player, and it's good to see him back playing footy. He has been working, has been his priority over the last 2 or 3 years, but he's back now because he can see an opportunity with Northampton, I think, at the moment, as we all can. The ball back in the centre. Once again, Cripps wins it to ground. Looking there for the player in Williams. The ball comes out. Comes the way now of Braden Jupp, the captain for the Rams. Kicks it up towards half forward. Looking up there for Bo Walker. Ball slapped away from him. Picked up by the Railways player there in Teddy Kerr. Ted Kerr gets it out wide and finds Henry Anderson. Henry Anderson gets it on his left boot. Gets it up forward. Finds the teammate there. Spears the ball in towards half forward. A pack develops, and the umpire has no option but to come in and throw the ball up. But the good news is it's in Railways forward 50, golf club end. Beautiful conditions here for football. As Peter said, a light breeze favouring the northern end, the end to which Northampton are kicking. But Railways have it in their forward 50 for the first time this afternoon. This first term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton on Drill and O'Malley Motors game day. Ball goes up towards the forward line, looking up there for Jesse Adamini. Adamini will find the going a little bit tougher today. Goes the ball forward, does the Northampton player there, gets a handball out, whistle on play, and the boundary umpire was onto that very, very quickly, and the boundary umpire will throw the ball back into play, and the player was out. The umpire saw it that way. The ball is around 50 metres around from the right point post at the southern end of the ground, the city end of Northampton Oval.
Broadcasting from just in front of the canteen, and they've taken the roast pork out of the oven, Glenn. That sounds absolutely beautiful. The ball coming out of the middle now, going the way of Railways Giltro, getting a few kicks early, the youngster into the half-forward area. Beautiful mark is taken. Looks like it's Anderson, I think, that's taken that mark. So Jesse Adamini. That was a nice mark. Took a beautiful mark on the back of the Guardian last week.
Beautiful photo.
It was fantastic. I'm sure it's up on his wall at home, Glenn.
Would be on mine.
So Jesse Adamini. He goes for the unselfish kick inboard. He's looking for the player there and goes one way then the other. That's Dion Anthony. Anthony back from also overseas duties. But he gets caught in possession. Northampton quickly get it away. And it's through that player, Kingsley Smith. Smith straight down the middle of the ground. It was a beautiful kick. Northampton have the flow of play now as it goes away of Simpson. Simpson into the half-forward area. Harry Taylor puts up his big arms and takes a nice mark about 25 metres out from goal.
Harry Taylor has got a good mark on him, of course. A very, very clever player. Young Ruben Ulrich has got a tough task this afternoon, but Ruben's worked hard, so we wish him well. But hey, Harry Taylor, if you give him plenty of ball, he's very, very hard to beat, of course. So Harry Taylor to shoot on goal. As we see a little bit of pushing and shoving happening off the ground. Clinton Harrington and Kyle Cripps having a bit of a push and shove. Harry's offline from 40 metres on a 45-degree angle. And the score on the TMS scoreboard sees another score for Northampton. Northampton a 1-goal-1-7. And the ball to be brought back in by Elliot Delaney for Railways. Kicks it right out towards the Ram Pavilion wing. But a good strong mark taken there by the Northampton player. Brings it inboard. Taken mark there by Jamie Williams. Good bit of play there from Northampton. Williams plays on now, kicks it in towards the half-forward line. Looking there for a teammate in Tyler Caddy. He couldn't mark the ball. The Railways defence do well. Ball comes out, comes away at Kingsley Smith. He gives it away to Kyle Cripps. Ball goes along the boundary line. And just in front of the TMS scoreboard, with 6.5 minutes gone in this first term, with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton, Northampton are 1-1-7. The lead Railways yet to score.
And a big weekend in sport here in the Midwest. The Bucks taking on the Buildup Wolves tonight at Bendat Stadium. We wish them all the best. Ball coming in from the pocket area in front of the scoreboard here at Northampton, going the way of Kimberley now for Railways. He goes to ground quickly, is gathered up as well by Kingsley Smith, getting into the game quite a bit early. He certainly is a great player and has been a great player for the Northampton Football Club. Kingsley Smith hasn't been playing all year. He's being a fly-out player. Very valuable indeed, and will become finals. The ball coming in now. It's knocked down by Big Harry Taylor. Goes to a teammate, puts it onto his boot, shoots on goal, but is inaccurate and through for the minor score. So Northampton getting it into their forward 50 just a little bit more often than opposition at the moment. 1-2-8, and the lead Railways still no score.
Very, very fortunate. Harry hasn't got a target on yet, but he's getting his sider in because Harry, as we know, is a very, very clever footballer. So we'll be taking it all on board, waiting for the ball to be returned from the crowd. The kids have gone to retrieve it, and eventually Elliot Delaney grabs it. Elliot Delaney playing in defence these days after being a key forward for Railways for many years, having a good year in defence, and he's enjoying it. Takes the bounce, comes out of the back line, kicks it up towards centre wing, just in front of our club rooms here, in front of the Radio Mama broadcast box. Goes the way of Jace Price, playing against his old club. Jace Price kicks it forward, looking for Ryan Letessia. Letessia gets an awkward bounce. Jack McQuee goes in. Jack McQuee is a very good defender these days. The ball comes out, goes the way of a player there at Railways, Corey Clark, and the umpire, Paul Luxton, throws the ball up almost in the centre of the ground here at Purcher International Oval. Cripps has the best of it, knocks it down to Jupp. Jupp kicks it up towards half forward. Trent Simpson uses his class, screws the ball back towards full forward, looking there for Harry Taylor. Ruben Ulrich does very well, he's in front. Ruben Ulrich gets a handball out, comes the way of a teammate there in Tunbridge, gets the kick forward, but the ball comes straight back and it goes the way of Paletti.
Paletti puts it onto his boot inside the corridor, and there's Harry Taylor. Textbook stuff. He takes the mark. He hesitated. He thought the umpire said he might have been into the back of his opponent, but nothing in that. And Harry Taylor will now have a shot on goal again, about 25 metres out on the other side to the other kick that he's already had here this afternoon. As Len said, he's got a couple of siders in. This one should be a doozy as he kicks toward the northern end. Big crowd in attendance this afternoon, Glenn. A very important game in the GNFL. All comes off the side of Harry's boot. Geez, he's missing a couple as it goes a bit of a shank and through for the minor score.
Yeah, that's his third behind of the afternoon, which is very unusual for Harry as the ball comes out through the player there in Elliot Delaney, the Railways full-back. Kicks it up towards half centre wing, looking there for the player there in Drage, but Josh Cripps was there. Whistle on player. Player was held while not in possession. So it goes to the young Northampton player on centre wing. There goes the kick from Northampton up towards half forward. Trent Simpson gets an awkward bounce. Ball comes back, comes the way of Delaney. He goes by hand to Ted Kerr. Ball smothered off the boot. Comes back towards Trent Simpson. Ball again smothered off the boot. And the umpire will come in and throw the ball up here at Northampton. So the ball to be coming the way now of the boundary umpire, put the ball back into play.
It's a pretty tough affair at the moment, Glenn, as players go left, right and centre, hitting each other, kicking into each other, and really come to play this afternoon. The ball up into the air. It's fisted away by Railways out toward the pavilion side of the ground. A big crowd in attendance, as I've mentioned. The ball goes to ground. There'll be a ball up right beside the boundary here at Purcher International Oval. This is the first term brought to you by Community Bank Geraldton. Thank you for your support in season 2023. Umpire Colin throws it up. Cripps is there, goes to ground. He's got Anthony to beat, but Anthony puts a tackle on a little bit too late. The ball goes to ground, and the umpire says, we'll throw it in, boys, as it goes over the boundary. So, very tight affair. 1-3-9, that is Northampton, playing Railways yet to open their account. 10.5 minutes gone in the first term. The ball coming in now, going the way of a player there who plays on down the ground pretty fast on this occasion. That's Dion Drage. Quickly puts it into space, but there is a Northampton defender. Gets it away. They send it further afield. Up they go. Beautiful mark taken by Cripps. Cripps just in front of our broadcast position. Of course, he was tated as another AFL player, just like his brother, but he kicks toward the boundary. And in fact, kicks it out on the full, Glenn.
Okay, so looking forward to a very good game from both these sides this afternoon. As Railways bring the ball out, comes the way of Matt Kimberley. Kimberley gets into the way of Dion Anthony. So Railways moving the ball along the boundary line, clubroom side. Dion Anthony, great to see him back in the Blues colours this afternoon. He's been missing for a while he's been travelling the world. Ball comes the way now of a Railways player there in Henry Anderson, new recruit this year.
Oh, nice.
And he gets in the way of Letessi, who takes the mark of the day so far for him. Plays on quickly, puts it a long way in front of Jesse Adamini, puts him under pressure, gives Taylor Green the opportunity to mop up if he can pick it up. Ball slaps back, goes the way of the Railways player there, and Owen Delaney. And Owen Delaney very quickly gets it on to the teammate, and a good mark taken there by Jackson Graham. Jackson Graham deep in the left forward pocket, kicking towards the golf club end as we quickly go around the grounds with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. And at three-quarter time, Brigades 11-9-75, lead Chapman Valley 2-4-16. Jackson Graham's kick goes across the face of ground of goal. Goes the way of a Northampton player there, and Callum Teakle. He's slung to the ground. Umpire says play on. He didn't have an opportunity to get rid of the ball. And the umpire, Stephen Pratt, will come in and throw the ball up. So the ball's in the forward 50 for Railways. Railways desperate to get a goal. 13 minutes gone in this first term, with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton. Ball slapped forward, goes the way of a Northampton player. He's met very, very solidly. Didn't have possession of the ball at the time, so he gets a free kick. That's Tyler Caddy. Tyler Caddy goes out wide, looking there for a teammate. He finds that player. That player is Jaden Paletti, lucky not to get caught in possession. But in goes the Railways player. Ball spills. Ball comes back to Northampton, and Kai McVee puts it on his left boot, kicks it up towards half forward. Almost a good mark to Railways. Picked up there by Trent Simpson for Northampton. Kicks it up towards half forward. Finds Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor plays on quickly. Looking there for Kingsley Smith. And made Kingsley Smith work very, very hard for it. And he's under a fair bit of pressure there from young Cody Giltro. But Kingsley Smith took a very, very strong mark. And Harry would be disappointed with the kick. He set him up a little bit there at Kingsley Smith. But Kingsley Smith, strong player, clever player. And Kingsley Smith from 25 metres out, directly in front, has the opportunity to get Northampton's second goal of the afternoon. Northampton have had the ball in their forward 50, haven't been all that accurate. But Kingsley Smith kicking to the northern end, taking plenty of time. As I mentioned, he'll kick from about 40 metres out. There goes the kick. Looks pretty good. Goal umpire signals all clear. And on the TMS scoreboard, that's technical maintenance scoreboard, it is Northampton 2-3-15. They lead Railways yet to score.
Thanks for joining our broadcast here on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football. And Northampton slightly getting a upper hand in this game at Purcher International Oval this afternoon. They're dominating from the half-back line, pushing the ball up. We've got Harry Taylor at the top end of the ground, and we've got Kingsley Smith doing a lot of work in the middle, but they are not the only ones. Northampton are working pretty hard, and certainly have it over Railways at the early stages of this Drennan O'Malley final round game for season 2023. Ball back in the middle now, up they go. No one can get a fist to it. The umpire says a free kick has been found though, and will go the way of the Railways ruckman. So McConnell, MJ McConnell, He kicks laterally and finds Anderson. Anderson backward to the centre square. Sends it down the wing. Who's there to collect it? Making a beautiful lead, Latassia. Gee, that was great stuff as he came out just like Josh Kennedy. Took a beautiful mark on his chest, Glenn. A beautiful lead. And now Latassia, that's Ryan Latassia, will have another shot on goal. He's got a few goals in recent weeks, Glenn. 9 last week, I believe. And he'll be shooting toward the southern end. So Ryan Latassia coming in now. He's going to be about just inside 50 when he gets onto this one. And certainly the breeze has got hold of it and swung it too far to one side and through for the minor score. So they've only got 2 points on the board of Railways and they trail Northampton 2 goals 3. So the ball coming out of defence now. Northampton have it. McQueen. He sends it down in front of our broadcast position, in front of the pavilion here this afternoon. Going into space, going the way of Williams. Williams is quickly knocked to ground. The crowd jeers. Nothing in that, says the umpire, as they dive on top of each other. And there'll be a ball up just metres away from our broadcast position. So the ball about to be thrown up. Great conditions for football as mentioned. It's knocked down by Jack Cripps on this occasion. Goes to ground, comes out of the pack, goes away of Paletti. Can't get it on the first attempt. Gets caught a little bit high, one would think. The umpire agrees, and a free kick will go the way of Jaden Paletti. Paletti goes one way, then decides to go straight down the corridor. He sees the lead. The lead up into the air is by Harris. Harris can't take the mark. The ball goes to ground. It's gathered in by young Giltro, who's getting a few kicks here this afternoon for Railways. The umpire goes in and throws it up once again. Railways do the better, getting it out of the pack, and that player is Anderson. Liked his game this season. He'll be important if Railways are to continue through the finals in season 2023, or their campaign through the finals, how successful it will be. Ball on the far side, Northampton have possession, or do they? Going back the way now, that player in Jackson Graham. He knocks it to ground, goes away of Anderson. Anderson in turn gives it away to a teammate, puts it onto his boot, kicks it inboard, but it's ricocheted back by the defence for Northampton.
So Northampton on defence, goes the way of the fullback, Jack McQueen, kicks it up towards centre wing, Ram Pavilion side. Northampton player throws himself at the ball comes out. Railways have an opportunity now through Delaney, but he mucks it up, picked up now by Kingsley Smith. Kingsley Smith, beautiful kick, left footer, up towards full forward, finds Harry Taylor, over the back, goes the way of Josh Cripps, and Northampton get another goal. Harry Taylor has played both these goals he played on and got them on to teammates. So Josh Cripps gets his first goal of the afternoon. And on the TMS scoreboard, it is Northampton 3-3-21. They lead Railways 1 behind. And you're on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football, this first term with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton, round 14 for Skeeters.
And no score in Brisbane yet, Glenn, so that game is being drawn out indeed.
It'll come down the shootouts, I bet.
Let's hope it doesn't.
Hope it doesn't, no.
Yeah, let's hope it doesn't. The ball coming back to the middle now. The last goal by Northampton. They're starting to, as I've already mentioned, they already had a bit of a hold on this game, but continuing to dominate. 3-3-21. They lead Railways just the 1 point. In fact, I think Railways should be 2 points, but anyway. The ball back in the middle now, umpire retrieving it. A reasonable crowd in attendance here this afternoon is indicated. Beautiful conditions here at Northampton, right in the middle of the wheat belt, or the northern part of the wheat belt. The crops look pretty good coming up here, didn't they, Glenn?
They did. It's good to see good crops along the coast. Of course, it's a little bit harder to the north, a little bit harder to the east, but let's hope there's good rain not too far away, because we're running out of winter. As we know, we're heading into spring in a month's time, so it's important we get as much rain as we can in the coming few weeks, what we have of left of August. Ball back in the centre. MJ McConnell wins at the ground, goes the way of the player there, comes back towards McConnell. He throws it on his boot, gets it up towards half forward, looking up there for the player there in Adamini. Comes the way of Northampton's Callum Teakle. He's under pressure. Ball spills, goes the way of Kai McVee. He's been good this afternoon. McVee gets it up towards Caddy. Ball comes to ground, goes the way of Bo Walker. Walker on his left boot, kicks it towards full forward. Harry Taylor's there, couldn't mark it. Ruben Ulrich's working hard, slaps it out, goes the way of Drew Tunbridge. Tunbridge goes by hand, finds the player there in Periolo, back towards Tunbridge. Awful kick there from Tunbridge. Ball comes back and Northampton can regroup, and it's a good kick there from the player there in Braden Jupp. Kicks it into deep into the forward pocket, looking there for Trent Simpson, finds that player. Simpson goes back, finds Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor throws it on his left boot, but Harry Taylor kicks his 4th point of the afternoon, and Harry Taylor is let to get a side up, but he's had 4 points. And on the scoreboard for TMS, it is Northampton 3-4-22. They lead Railways 1 behind.
4 points and 4 assists, though, Glenn, too. So he's certainly
right.
had a lot of the ball, hasn't he?
He has.
As he ricochets the ball back in, the ball coming out of defence. He sees the lead. He quickly gets it on to Harry Taylor, looking for Simpson. That wasn't a great decision by Taylor. He makes very few poor decisions, but that was one of them. Going back the way now of Jesse Moore. Back in defence now. The ball is with Priolo. Priolo for Railways. Off the half-back flank, he sends it down the wing. Players setting themselves up, goes Adamini, a little bit too late off hands, and over the boundary, just in front of the dugout for Northampton.
We're into time on in this first term for Community Bank Geraldton. Umpires this afternoon, umpires Luxton, Cohen and Pratt. Boundary umpire to put the ball back into play, just in front of our Radio Mumba broadcast box here at Northampton. Josh Cripps has the best of it, slaps it to ground. Ball picked up now by Matt Kimberley. Kimberley for Railways, kicks it up towards half forward. Ball comes back towards Cripps. Cripps was tackled high, and Josh Cripps, who's been very good in this first quarter, continues on playing some good footy as he has since returning to Northampton in the mid-season. There goes the kick from Cripps. Goes up towards centre wing, goes the way of Kimberley for Railways. He goes out wide looking for Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr under pressure, cleverly gets it back towards Kimberley. Kimberley screws it around the corner, looking out there for Declan Scriven. Scriven's there, but he's tackled. Overuses the ball, comes back towards Northampton, and Northampton can clear it out now through Tyler Caddy after he receives the handball after 3 players who have played their part. Comes the way of Cale Cripps. Cale Cripps uses the ball well. This kick is a reasonable one, but goes in the arms of Bo Walker. Bo Walker screws the ball around the corner. Ball running free, but it won't make the distance. And the Railways players pretty keen to run it through for a force behind. And on the TMS scoreboard here at Northampton, 3-5-23. Lead Railways 1 behind.
Bo Walker hasn't played a lot of football in the last couple of years, but he's got a bit of a lamenting injury, but he certainly is getting on top of that, as I had a quick conversation with him earlier today, and Northampton certainly need him because he's a very important player in the middle of the ground. The ball coming in from the broadcast side. Goes away with Tassie, who's came back down the ground for Railways. In fact, that player is Dion Anthony. Anthony kicks it to a teammate who wasn't ready. It bounces forward. Anthony gets it again, gets a handball out now to Henry Anderson. Anderson down the wing, sees that player on the Tassie. He runs onto it. He's only got eyes for the ball. Doesn't get it on the first attempt. Dives on top of the ball. In defence, I think it is Cripps that gets it for Northampton. Gets it to a teammate. They put it on to boot. They send it out the far side. The Purcher International Oval, just in front of the shearing sheds. It goes to ground. It's picked up. Player who was slung to the ground. That was indeed a slung tackle, sling tackle I should say, and a free kick will go the way of that particular player. So the ball is with Northampton at centre wing. That player Glenn sends it inboard now. He's looking for, going to take the mark. Kingsley Smith almost took a slip catch. Comes inboard now, goes away now of that player in Tyler Caddy. Caddy gets it away to a teammate who shoots on goal in Braden Jupp. He pushes his opponent out of the road and says, I want to see this ball go through. But unlucky for him, it goes through for the minor score.
Yes, good bit of play. Northampton had a lot of the ball, 9 scoring shots to 1. And Railways are very fortunate that Northampton have been a little bit offline. The conditions are good here. If Northampton had a kick straight and perhaps had 6 goals through, the game probably would be done at quarter time.
And I think that Railways player is pretty lucky the Channel 7 cameras aren't here, Glenn.
That's right. The ball comes forward. There goes the player from Railways defence. Get it out wide. The mark taken there by the Railways player out wide, Jesse Moore. And ball off hands, and there'll be a boundary throw-in on the outer side. 24 minutes gone in this first term, with thanks to Community Bank Geraldton on Drennan O'Malley Motors game day, as the ball to be thrown back in. Superb conditions for footy. Everyone is enjoying the footy here at Northampton this afternoon. And there's the quarter time siren, and Northampton are on fire. Northampton 3-6-24. They lead Railways 1 goal straight 1. And you're tuned to Radio Mumma. We're the home of GNFL football. and you're tuned to Radio Mumma, the home of GNFL football. Drilling O'Malley Motors Game Day as we go around the grounds with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. Game being played at GBSC Sports Park this afternoon. Three-quarter time, Brigades 11-9, 75. Lead Chapman Valley 2-4, 16. The other game being played out at WA Country Builders Stadium. Three-quarter time, Rovers 13-8, 86. Lead Towns 7 goals, 10, 52. And it's quarter time here at Northampton's Purcher International Oval, and Northampton 3-6, 24. And they lead Railways 1 behind. So the goal scorers for Northampton, Cale Cripps, Kingsley Smith and Josh Cripps, 1 apiece. We're underway in this second term with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack. And the ball comes the way now of Railways player, slaps it out, but only as far as Williams. He gets tackled, thrown to the ground. Umpire giving them an opportunity to slap it out. The intensity is very good around the ball, as you'd expect. This game is a very important contest. The winner goes into the second semi-final against Brigades next weekend. The loser gets to play Rovers next weekend as well in the first semi-final. Ball goes forward again. Northampton player has marked it, and that's Bo Walker, who's been very prominent early. Bo Walker, short pass, goes deep in the pocket, finds Trent Simpson. Trent Simpson deep on the boundary line, only about 5 metres in from the boundary line, about 35 metres out from goal, 40 metres out from goal when he shoots on goal. So Trent Simpson, a bit of a goal expertise, usually very, very good around goals is Trent Simpson. So Trent Simpson, can he get a very early goal in this first minute of this second term? Looks pretty good, but not good enough. And on the TMS scoreboard, Northampton go to 3 goals, 7, 25. They lead Railways 1 behind.
Better players in that first term than I had down for Northampton in no particular order. Harry Taylor, Josh Cripps, Kingsley Smith, Bo Walker and Jack McQueen in defence.
And of course contenders for the Skipper's Restaurant Player of the Day. For Railways, Michael McConnell working well, Antonio Priolo on the midfield, Elliot Delaney in defence, Dion Anthony as a ruck rover, and Cody Giltro showing a little bit of fight, a little bit of vigour. The Railways need to lift that intensity if they could get their way back into this contest.
Yeah, the Greens, not a factor as mentioned, the ball at centre wing on the far side. Purcher International Oval. Quarter time, we saw Northampton 3-6-24 leading Railways just the 1 point. I was incorrect. They only did score 1 point. I thought they did get another one, but I was incorrect as the ball comes back now inside the centre square. Up they go now. Players setting themselves. It's knocked down by McConnell. Comes out through Cripps though for Northampton into the half-forward area. Railways working hard off the half-back flank to ensure it doesn't get through. But yeah, nice mark is taken in the middle of the ground. So Northampton holding sway at the moment as they go forward into the half-forward area. Players setting themselves up. They go. The mark can't be taken. Pletty sent that ball down. Goes to the player there who shoots on goal inside the goal square, inside the corridor, I should say. The ball coming out, goes away now. The Northampton player goes one way, then the other. Gives it away to Trent Simpson. Simpson gets dispossessed of the ball. The ball goes to ground. Players diving on top of it. Desperate stakes for the defence for Railways as they try and bottle it up, and the umpire lets it play on as it comes out into space now. Going the way of the player there for Northampton, and that player is Braden Jupp. Braden Jupp is
given a goal.
Yep. Plays on down the ground. Gets the free kick, and that is another goal to Northampton. So Northampton Glen are really holding sway pretty comfortably at the moment.
Yeah, good start to the game for Braden Jupp, but a good start for his team Northampton as Braden Jupp becomes the 4th goal scorer. Looking at goal scorers to this point in the game for Northampton, Cale Cripps has 1, Kingsley Smith, Josh Cripps and Braden Jupp 1 apiece. So the scoreboard on the TMS scoreboard, which is the technical maintenance scoreboard here at Northampton, the new electronic scoreboard, which we enjoy very much, on the Malcolm Gould scoreboard, and it is Northampton 4-7-31, Railways 1 behind, ball back in the centre. Umpire Pratt, the record holder in the GNFL for the most games umpired, throws the ball up, ball slapped the ground by Josh Cripps. Pack goes to the ground, whistle on player, Railways player held while not in possession, and that goes the way of Matt Kimberley, who's earning his keep this afternoon. He goes by hand, feeds the handball out towards Drew Tunbridge, He goes by hand, gives it away of Jace Price. Price kicks it up towards half forward. His kick is not a good one, but they put the Northampton player under the pump, but he couldn't hold the mark. Ball comes over the back. Railways have an opportunity now as Letessia feeds it out to the damaging player in Adamini. Jesse Adamini shoots on goal, but Jesse's offline, and a minor score result. And on the TMS scoreboard, with 4.5 minutes gone in the second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Geraldton, Northampton a 4-7-31. They lead Railways 2 behind.
So you can smell that apple. We'll go with the pork now, Glenn.
You're very... We're in the right long spot, I think.
We certainly are. The ball coming back out of defence now for Northampton. Going the way of a player there who plays on, and that is a player there wearing number 12. Got a helmet on this afternoon. It goes to Dion Anthony now for Railways. Goes to ground. Gets it out to Aidan Bartolo. Gets it out to Jackson Graham, who put a beautiful kick. A worm burner it was, but it was enough off the ground to be marked by Jesse Adamini. He might score the first goal of the afternoon for Railways. He's kicked a few of them, 11 last week in fact, as he returned to the GNFL after injury. So Jesse Adamini looks pretty good off the boot, straight through the middle, and that is their first goal of the afternoon. Railways are 1-2, and they trail Northampton 4-7.
So a very good goal there from Jesse Adamini, and to say that Railways needed that one would be the understatement of the day. So Railways get their first score of the afternoon. Jesse Adamini getting that score on the board. So Jesse Adamini last week played against Mullawall, kicked a bag full, and he's coming back from injury, and he's playing this afternoon, and good to see him get the first score on the board. So the ball back in the setup. So 6 minutes gone in this second term, and in other games it was three-quarter time, and Brigade's doing it well over Chapman Valley, and Rovers just holding sway by about 34 points in three-quarter time in their game against Towns. Ball comes back into play, and Northampton have an opportunity to go forward. Railways working hard but can't get the ball off the half-back line at the moment. Ball comes the way of Adamini. Adamini is tackled high, and Jesse Adamini will take the free kick on half-back. So Jesse Adamini with the free kick on half-back. Standing the mark for Northampton is the player there, and Tyler Caddy. Ball comes out wide, and Railways have it again through Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr gets it in towards the centre of the ground. Ball off hands, goes the way of Dion Drage. Drage slaps it out, but only as far as Michael Wright Jr. Junior Wright gives it over towards Braden Jupp. Braden Jupp gets it up towards half forward. Looking up there for Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor on hands and knees, slaps the ball out, goes the way of Delaney. Delaney slows it on his boot, but the ball goes only as far as the Northampton player there, and Jack Cripps. Jack Cripps plays on quickly, kicks it up towards half forward, looking again for Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor's got two men, they drag him to ground, didn't have prior opportunity, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up again.
Yes, so Northampton a lot taller than the Railways side here this afternoon, Glenn, and on a small ground like this, it plays dividends when you go down the middle, and they certainly are dominating there. The ball be thrown up now, just outside the forward 50 for Northampton, kicking toward the southern end. Off the boot it comes, and it was a beautiful kick on this occasion by Jack Cripps, and it goes through for another goal for Northampton. So Jack Cripps, the Crippsers, they've come to play today, Glenn.
They certainly have, and Jack looked pretty happy before the game. He'll be pretty happy after that one, because he's back, and Jack is enjoying his footy, and it's good to see him get another score on the board. So Northampton, they quickly respond to that goal kicked by Jesse Adamini a moment ago, and with 8 minutes gone in this second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack, Northampton 5-7-37, Railways 1-2-8. Fair to say Northampton look in control of this contest. Railways have got to find something, get something out of the midfield. Ball back in the centre. Umpire Cohen on this occasion will put the ball in the air. Dion Drage do the rucking for Railways, but Josh Cripps wins at the ground, but it's roved beautifully by Matt Kimberley. Kimberley goes by hand, finds a teammate there in Jack Connell. Railways have an opportunity to go forward, and they have it on centre wing now. Goes the way of the Railways player there, and Dion Anthony.
Oh.
Anthony uses the ball well, gets it up towards Cody Giltrode. Good mark, plays on back towards Anthony. Dion Anthony from 40 metres shoots towards goal, but Jack McQuee stands his ground. Jack McQuee, the fullback, the custodian, takes a good strong mark, gets a short pass, and gets it the way of Aidan Bartolo.
Bartolo sends it inboard now. off the half-back line for Northampton. Still only one major score for Railways as we see a player go up into the air and take a nice mark. That is Delaney. Delaney's come right down the ground. They're trying to push up our Railways, desperate to get more score on the board. They go laterally now. Finds our player in Giltro. He's been good and has grown in stature as he is. He's about his third or fourth game for Railways today.
Yeah, he's been outstanding, really.
He has. The ball goes away now of Priolo. He sends it inboard. Back away of Kimberley, back to Priolo. He goes outside the centre square. Missed kick though, goes to ground. Picked up by Kimberley once again, almost tripped, but the umpire said nothing in that. The ball goes to ground, players diving on top of it. Just outside the centre square, no one can get prior opportunity or possession. The umpire says, boys, give it to me, and we'll throw it up once again. Talking about Jack Cripps, Glenn, before COVID, he was over in Victoria and was working, I think Queensland perhaps, working in the equine world. So he knows a little bit about horses.
And now I believe he's fly in, fly out, so he's enjoying the opportunities the mining industry bring. Ball comes the way of Northampton again through Tyler Caddy. The man from Calbarry gets it up forward, whistle on play, and a Railways player was interfered with, so the Railways player gets the resultant free kick. That's the player there in Delaney, but Northampton can regroup, or can they? Northampton player caught in possession there was Jack Cripps, and a good bit of play put on him. Good tackle put on by Jace Price. Jace Price plays on quickly, kicks it up towards half forward, and Ryan Latesio leads the race for the ball and takes a good strong mark in front of his opponent there. Plays on, short pass again.
Barely 15 metres.
Dion Anthony marks the ball, and Dion Anthony is 45 metres out, directly in front, and Railways Dion Anthony has an opportunity to get a goal for the Blues this afternoon. Time ticking by in this second term, 11 minutes gone. Dion Anthony trying to get the scoreboard ticking over for the Blues. Dion Anthony kicking to the northern end of the ground this quarter. There goes the kick from Dion. Looks pretty good off the boot. Pack into the air, and it's across the top of the pack. Dion Anthony kicked a beautiful goal from 45 metres out and made the scoreboard roll for the Railways side. And on the TMS scoreboard, technical maintenance scoreboard here in Northampton, it is Railways 2-2-14. They trail Northampton 5-7-37.
Dion Anthony via Rome, Madrid and London. Glennie's back on the GNFL football field, and well, he hasn't lost much of his fitness, one would think.
I think he might find it a bit tough later in the day, but yeah, he's a very, very fit man, a young man, of course. But yeah, it's different being on the footy field, so it'll be interesting to see how he goes. But it'll do him a world of good because he'll need to be back in good form next week.
Yeah, playing in the middle today for Railways, it's Dion Anthony, and played a few good games early in the season before he went overseas, but back as the finals beckon. The ball coming out of the middle. It's knocked down by Railways on this occasion. We'll come outside the centre square. McVeigh goes in. He tries to bottle it up. He's unsuccessful. The ball goes to ground. It'll be thrown up once again. In fact, it's Callum Teakle that knocked the ball in there on that occasion. So, very tight affair here at Purcher International Oval this afternoon. A sun-drenched Purcher International Oval. There is a big crowd in attendance with cars right around the ground, reminiscent of the 1970s and 80s, Glenn, as the ball comes off that play. We're talking about that play there, sending it forward, and Bo Walker, he kicks it to the outer side. Northampton custodian doesn't find a teammate out there as the ball is ricocheted back in. Up they go, a few players trying to get a hold of it. One of those is the youngster in Corey Clark for Railways. There's a couple of attempts as Clark. The ball eventually is spilled free. Spills free as Adamini runs onto it. Gets it across now to a teammate who is equal to the task in Owen Delaney. Playing up the ground, Delaney goes inboard and finds the youngster in Giltro, I think it is. So Giltro, as we said, Glenn, he's grown in stature quite substantially in several weeks. Not much of him, but he certainly has pedigree. And Giltro now will move in to have a shot on goal. Cody Giltro, kicking from about 45 metres, a little bit off cue, and through for the minor score.
Good to see him contributing so much. He's one of the shining lights for Railways over the last couple of weeks. A young man, and it's good to see him play so well. His dad, Chris, played a lot of footy for Railways, and Cody's got a little bit of grunt about him. There's no doubt about that. Ball comes the way in the centre of the ground, goes the way of the player there in Jamie Williams for Northampton. Kicks it up the half forward where he finds Trent Simpson. So Northampton on the rebound now, kicking to the golf club end. Trent Simpson plays on, kicks it in towards the forward pocket where he finds Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor has been very damaging this afternoon. Hasn't kicked the goals he usually does, but he's been able to hand them on. He plays on quickly, gets it in towards the forward pocket and finds Kingsley Smith on the lead. And Kingsley Smith, who's deep in the left forward pocket, deep on the boundary, probably 10 or 15 metres off the boundary line, but he's only 30 metres out, kicking the golf club end from the left-hand side. So a very important kick this for Northampton. They regroup every time. They seem to be able to get a score on the board. Kingsley kicked one this afternoon. Can he kick goal number 2? Goal umpire signals a point, and on the TMS scoreboard, Northampton go to 5 goals, 8-38, and they lead Railways 2-3-15.
Well, a surprise to remember for Durack is the sponsor of this particular term. Glenn, talking to Melissa tomorrow, she's been on a bit of a bush bash with Variety Club this week before heading back to Canberra, where we had Midwest food on food fair on display for our politicians.
Very good. So it's been a busy week across the Midwest, and I look forward to hearing how those people have fared on either side of our country. Ball goes forward, and Harry Taylor, he is marked.
Nice kick by Kingsley Smith.
Yeah, he almost had the ball knocked away from him, but Harry Taylor, a very clever player, shooting on goal. Harry has kicked 4 behinds, 2 assists, as we mentioned, and he has an opportunity to kick his first of the afternoon. And if he starts getting his eye in, it might be the floodgates open for the Northampton side. So Harry Taylor from 15 metres out, directly in front.
He's missed again.
So that's 5th behind of the afternoon.
Just incredible stuff.
Which doesn't usually happen. Harry can't believe he's kicking this afternoon. But, I mean, that was 15 metres out, almost directly in front, so he's going through the motions again. So Harry will be learning as he goes about it. So Railways to bring the ball in from defence, and Elliot Delaney is the full-back this afternoon. Elliot Delaney for the Blues, runs around his opponent, takes the bounce, takes the second bounce, and now he's overrun, and he's caught in possession, and the umpire said, yeah, you took them on, you had your opportunity to get rid of the ball, and Elliot Delaney a little bit unlucky there to slip over, and the ball has been reversed because Northampton player reminisced, and the ball go the way of Elliot Delaney. Elliot Delaney is slung to the ground. Umpire said go back and have your shot, Elliot. So Elliot has the ball. So Elliot, all his hard work has been rewarded. Elliot plays on now, gets a short pass, goes the way there.
Jackson Graham.
The player there, and Jackson Graham. Jackson Graham, a good young player, developing in the Blues. There goes his kick, short pass, finds the way of Jack Connell. Jack Connell plays on with a big kick up towards half forward. Looking up there, but Northampton have an opportunity now through Taylor Green. Taylor Green kicks the ball back to whence it came, and Jack Connell marks the ball again. So Jack Connell is on half back for Railways. Coming along the clubroom side here, kick was a poor one, but luckily it fell in the arms of Blake Bunter. Blake Bunter wanting to get the Blues moving, puts it on his left boot. Blake Bunter kicks it up towards half forward, looking again for Jackson Graham. Northampton have the numbers. Tyler Caddy by hand to Kai McVee. McVee puts it on his left boot, kicks it out wide. Running with the flight of the ball is Michael Wright. Michael couldn't mark the ball, goes back in, retrieves it, feeds the handball out towards Bo Walker. Bo Walker goes by hand to Tom Berry. Tom Berry is caught, but it was tackled high, and Tom Berry has an opportunity now to play on for Northampton. Gets it up towards half forward, where he finds Jamie Williams.
88 minutes gone over there in Brisbane, Glenn. It's still a stalemate of 0-0. 0 Australia, 0 France. It's going to go down to the wire. Ball on the far side from Williams, goes out. Finds a teammate equal to the task just outside the centre square.
A Railways player in a bit of pain out there.
He is. He hit the deck, didn't he? The ball going forward now for Northampton. Into the half-forward area, doesn't meet any intended target, goes to ground, players bottle it up, especially the defence for Railways. The ball will be thrown up just outside the centre square, I should say outside the forward 50.
It's Elliot Delaney, and Elliot has been working hard, but he's in a fair bit of bother. So, let's hope he hasn't done himself too much damage.
Okay, the ball coming over the top of a couple of players as it's knocked forward for Northampton. It doesn't go too far. There's a bit of comment about that this morning on Football Forum, Glenn.
Yes, that's right. And Elliot Delaney is up now, so it's good to see him up and about. So he's all good to go. He'll run whatever soreness he has out as Railways player tries to break through a tackle. Caught in possession, picked up now by Northampton's Cripps. Jack Cripps on this occasion. Kicks it towards the forward pocket. Picked up by Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor shoots across the front of goal, and Harry has didn't even trouble the scorer on this occasion. Ball goes out of bounds. So the ball will be brought back into play, deep in the right forward pocket, about 15 metres around from the right point post, just in line with the golf club here at Purcher International Oval. Boundary umpire puts the ball back into play. Ball taken by Harry Taylor, feeds the handball out, but he didn't get it out in time, and the Railways player who put a good tackle on Harry Taylor gets the free kick. That's MJ McConnell. Michael McConnell from Railways gets that out wide and finds the player there in Tunbridge. Drew Tunbridge with the ball, centres the ball, gets it back to Elliot Delaney. So Elliot will go back, and now he comes across the face of ground again, goals again, finds Blake Bunter. So Railways are getting a bit of possession, but they're not moving too far up the ground. Blake Bunter gets it a little bit further up the ground. MJ McConnell takes the mark, the big ruckman, getting a bit of the ball now. Michael McConnell plays on, kicks it towards centre wing where he finds Jackson Graham. Jackson Graham getting a bit of possession too, feeds the handball out towards Jesse Adamini. Adamini kicks it up towards half forward, looking up there for the player in Giltro. Northampton have it through McQuee. McQuee gives it back. Ball whistle on play. Player held while not in possession was a Railways player, and Railways player will get the free kick, and that is a player with his helmet or head wrap. Young Declan.
Yeah, he's got up the hill and come down with Jill.
He looks like it at the minute, as Northampton have an opportunity to rebound through Taylor Green. Green is shoved out of the road, and a good mark taken there by the Railways defender in Clint Harrington.
Harrington sends it to the outer side, just outside the forward 50. Railways desperate to get a score on the board as we head to the big break here at Purcher International Oval. It is Northampton 5-9-39, leading Railways 2-3-15. Listening to Radio Mama. This is the last round of home and away fixtures in the GNFL. Dreading another game day here on Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football. Peter Forenza and Glenn Barnden bringing you all the action of this particular game. A twilight game here at Northampton. The ball thrown up once again. Knocked down by the big ruckman for Northampton, goes to ground. Pretty tight affair as players dive on top of each other. As we see the ball come off the ground. Braden Jupp getting in everything this afternoon, Glenn. Captain Courageous for Northampton. Ball just outside the forward 50. Up it goes again. Trying to get it forward Railways, but Northampton are curtailing their efforts as it goes away with Caddy now, puts it onto his boot, sends it to the outer side, that is the shearing shed side of the ground, or the pavilion side of the ground. Comes off hands and spills over the boundary. There was a time, Glenn, when that pavilion wasn't there at all.
That's right. It's been replaced with a new shed, which is nice. One of the good things to come out of Cyclone Seroja. Of course, a lot of damage caused, and it would have been better if it didn't happen. But the fact is they've got a new Ram pavilion here at the Northampton Oval. As we go around the grounds with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and Lara Dalton, the member for Geraldton. Full time out there at WA Country Builders Stadium. And Rovers 14 goals 93 have defeated Towns 10-13, 73, 20-point margin in favour of the Demons. And in the other game played out at GBSC Sports Park, Brigades 18-14, 122 have defeated Chapman Valley 3-4, 22. So 100 points to margin there in favour of the Hawks. So Brigades going into the second semi-final with a big win under their belt, and Rovers going into their first semi-final with a reasonable win over Towns.
Yeah, going into 3 minutes extra time there in Brisbane, Glenn. So interesting stakes for both France and our very own Matildas.
As Northampton get the ball forward again, and they get it up towards half forward, so the ball will be thrown back into play. So the ball deep in the forward 50. Time running out in the second term, with thanks to Melissa Price, the member for Durack, on Dreadon O'Malley Motors Game Day on Radio Mama. Peter Fiorenza and Glenn Barnden keeping you company on a Saturday evening. Lots of things to do this evening, of course. We've got the Western Derby being played in Perth, and also the NBL One West Grand Final with the Geraldton Buccaneers representing the Midwest, so we do wish them well. Ball comes back into play. Umpire says the player was held, didn't have prior opportunity. Umpire Luxon will come in and throw the ball up. So in this quarter, we've seen Northampton add 2 goals 3, and Railways have added 2 goals 2. So Northampton have won the quarter by a point at this stage, but it's a very low-scoring, dogged affair, as many games are here in Northampton. And there's the siren, half-time at the football, and Northampton are 5-9-39. They lead Railways 2-3-15. And you're tuned to Radio Mama. We're the home of GNFL football.
Today's Dreadon O'Malley Motors Game. GNFL Game Day is brought to you by Community Bank Geraldton, who have been serving the community for over 13 years. On your home of GNFL football, Radio Mama.
And a very good afternoon. Welcome back to Drennan O'Malley Motors Game Day on Radio Mama with the home of GNFL footy, live from Purcher International Oval. Second place Northampton hosting the third place Railways. The second semi-final berth is up for grabs for the winner today, and at half-time Northampton look to be on target. Half-time, Northampton 5-9-39. They lead Railways 2-3-15, 24 points to margin. We're underway in this third term with thanks to Drennan O'Malley Motors. Ball comes the way of a Northampton player. A pack develops, umpire giving him plenty of opportunity, and eventually the ball doesn't come out. Umpires this afternoon, umpires Steve Pratt, Paul Luxton, Brian Cohen, all in contention to do finals football in the coming weeks. Ball thrown up, goes the way of Ryan Letessia having a run on the ball now. A Railways player slings a Northampton player. Then a couple of ugly sling tackles this afternoon, and Jamie Williams gets the resultant free kick. Jamie Williams plays on now, goes out wide, looking out there for the hard-running Northampton player, sees the ball across the boundary line, and that player that led the race was Cale Cripps, and the boundary umpire will throw the ball in. So it is getting dark here. This is the late game, got underway at 4 o'clock. In other games today, with thanks to the City of Greater Geraldton and the Lower Dalton, the member for Geraldton, the game played at GBSC Sports Park. Brigades, the minor premiers, did it easy, finishing clearly on top, and 100-point winners over Chapman Valley. Brigades 18-14-122 defeated Chapman Valley 3-4-22. And the other game played at WA Country Builders Stadium, and Rovers, the fourth side, and they won it. Rovers 14-9-93 defeated Towns 10-13-73. A 20-point margin there in favour of the Demons.
Interesting to see the Demons, Glenn, their form interesting going into the finals next week. Who they'll play will be the side of this particular match. It will be decided from this particular match. At this stage it looks like it may be Railways. As we head into the early stages of the second half, a free kick going the way of Railways through the guys of Corey Clark. He gets it out to a teammate. Down the line it goes. Jackson Graham goes up. Can't take the mark. The ball spills free. Goes to ground. The defence for Northampton do the better as they kick it back in front of the windsock, but it finds the sanctuary of the boundary and is out on the full. Better players in that term for Northampton, Glenn: Kingsley Smith, Bo Walker, Jack McQuee, Harry Taylor and Tyler Caddy.
Looking at Railways' better players and contenders for the Skitters Restaurant Player of the Day: Michael McConnell doing well on the ruck, Elliot Delaney working hard in defence, Dion Anthony showing his normal class as a rock rover. One of the stars, I think, Cody Giltro, shows a fair bit of vigour, and he goes in really hard. Only a very small player, but he shows his teammates how it should be done. And Jackson Graham got a little bit of the ball in the second quarter as well. As we see Railways go forward again through Drew Tunbridge, gives it lace out towards Jesse Adamini, and Jesse Adamini is marked. So Railways can quickly get back into this goal. They get a couple of quick goals. Jesse Adamini, the goal-kicking star for the Blues. He's 35 metres out, directly in front, kicking to the southern end, the golf club end in this third term, and looks pretty good off the boot. Jesse Adamini doesn't miss too many, and he gets his good goal there. That's his second of the afternoon, and Jesse Adamini sees Railway get their third goal. Railways are 3-3-21. They trail Northampton 5-9-39.
This quarter brought to you by Drennan O'Malley Motors. Hello to Ron, who'll be listening in today, isn't he, up here at Northampton. But of course, a great supporter of the Railway Football Club and football in general, and a great supporter of Radio Mama's coverage of the Drennan O'Malley Game Day. The ball back in the middle now. Northampton still lead 5-9-39. Railways to the last goal 3-3-21. The lights are on here at Purcher International Oval. As we said, a big crowd in attendance. This is a very important game going down to the wire for the Final Four here in season 2023. The ball coming out of the middle. It's won by Northampton as it goes back in. Caddy, he tries to get it to a teammate, but back through the middle goes Dion Anthony working hard. And I think, has he got a free kick? No, a free kick has gone the way of the player there in Price. Of course, Price kicks it up into the half-forward area. Up goes that player. Couldn't take the mark. He's one-handed. Comes down to ground. Priolo is there. He knocks it forward. So too there's a couple of players, including Scriven, who's wearing the bandage around his head. Umpire says no prior opportunity, and we'll throw it up once again. So the ball has been Today's game has been very tight and played very at close quarters because no side really wanting to give an inch. But when the ball's played down the middle, as I said, Glenn, Northampton being the tallest side have run out, and I think that's showing on the scoreboard, the ball coming out of the middle, or is it? Just as I say that, it is bottled up once again. So the scoreline, 5-9-39. That is Northampton leading Railways 3-3-21.
There's no doubt Northampton play this ground better than most. They certainly locked it in. It's very, very tight, closed checking, and it's just the way that Northampton like it. But Railways, they're lucky that they are still in contention in this game, because really, I think Northampton have had 14 scoring shots to 6. So the margin could be far greater if Northampton had been able to find their kicking boots. Ball comes out, Dion Anthony doing well, kicks it forward. Dion Anthony, we're starting to feel a little bit of pressure, I would think, after having a long way away from the game. Ball comes forward, almost a good mark again to Adamini. Ball comes over the back, goes the way of a player there who we were talking about just a moment ago. He shoots on goal. That's Dion Anthony. He's offline, 1 point only. And on the TMS scoreboard, in this third term, we've played almost 6 minutes, and this third term, with thanks to Drill and O'Malley Motors, Northampton 5-9-39. They lead Railways 3-4-22.
Ball coming out of defence is quickly balled up by Northampton now. The youngster in Clark did well to ricochet the ball back to whence it came. Into the pocket he goes, but up go the arms of the big defender there for Northampton and Jack Cripps. Cripps goes laterally across the face of goal. Coming down the wing, he finds Braden Jupp, the captain for Northampton. Braden Jupp figured early in the game. Got a little bit quiet since halfway through the second term. The ball down the wing. He's looking for support. Up they go. No one could take the mark. Comes off hands. Goes above Kimberley now. Tries to get it to Priolo. Priolo dives on top of his opponent at the bottom of the pack. Almost into his back. He was Cale Cripps. But the umpire was unsighted, and the ball will be thrown up once again. So the ball not far from our broadcast position for Radio Mama.
Railways have put Letizia on the ball to try and get some movement in this quarter as the ball comes back into play. Whistle on play. Umpire says play on, and umpire Pratt says no prior opportunity there. So a big pack around the ball. Every time you look at these contests, Peter, there's about 8 or 9 players from each club around the ball, so you don't have much opportunity to break clear. It's a real finals type atmosphere here this afternoon, and of course a big prize is getting a second semi-final berth, and of course the winner goes and will play in the second semi-final at GBSC Sports Park against Brigades next year. And the Northampton player played on and didn't wait for, he followed the player across. The umpire hadn't called play on, so a 50-metre penalty. So Tyler Caddy's caught out there, and Railways have an opportunity to go from centre wing up towards half forward. Railways play on now through the boot of Jace Price. Price kicks it up towards the forward pocket, ball running free. Northampton would be best to probably knock it through, but they kept the ball in play. And the Northampton player takes a very good strong mark there. He's had a pretty good day out, has Jack Cripps. Jack Cripps, very clever, strong player at both ends of the grounds, and he plays on, kicks it up along the centre wing, but he's offline, out of bounds on the full, so the ball will come back into play. We heard Brady Tomalty talk on Sports Shed this morning, saying that Jack will be back in town for another month because he's having a bit of time off, so he'll be able to train with the Rams in the lead up to the finals, which is great news for Northampton, good news for Jack. So the ball comes back the way of Ryan Letizia, so the player there has an opportunity to kick the ball forward. So Ryan Letizia to shoot towards half forward. So Ryan Letizia to kick the ball forward, and he's kicking towards the golf club end. So Railways have been good so far in this quarter. Had the ball in their forward 50 a couple of times. Ryan Letizia tries to kick the ball long, hard, wide and handsome, but the ball goes to the deep pocket, goes the way of McConnell, but he can't control the ball. Northampton can regroup. They run it out through Michael Wright, and Michael Roach shoots towards the boundary line, but once again the boundary line comes into play, and there'll be a boundary throw in just in front of the windsock, which is favouring the northern end of the ground, but to no great extent. You can kick goals at either end. The skylights are on, or the lights are on, but it's still twilight time between it becoming dark and the sun going down here at Northampton.
And a bit of communication with one on Journo in the Geraldton area, though he was only here for a few years. Got pretty well known in the football circles in Russell Reid. He had an interesting piece in today's West Australian when Ashley Sampi missed out on getting the Ross Glendinning medal, but was awarded to him yesterday at the Crown Casino.
Yeah, very important for Ashley Sampi and his family. Lovely to see. Ashley Sampi was voted by the journalists at the time, but Ross did a bit of a veto, Ross Glendinning, but that's all been rectified now, so it's great to see that Ashley Sampi has been given a Ross Glendinning medal for his performance in that derby. And of course the derby happening later this evening. I think it gets underway about 6:15 as Delaney gets rid of the ball. Good kick forward, but the ball's cut off back there in defence, and it's taken by Josh Cripps, who takes a good mark around the ground as well. Clever player, gets it out wide to a teammate. Jack McQueen kicks it up towards centre half back, or centre half on the outer side, and very, very hard to get the ball forward at the moment for Northampton. They're having a lot of pressure put on them by Railways, which is a good sign. Ball comes forward now. Northampton player there takes a good strong mark. Kingsley Smith, he's enjoying the afternoon. One of Northampton's better players. Kicks it up towards half. Oh! Harry Taylor flies high. Almost a great mark. Couldn't handle it at the end. It comes to ground. And Railways can rebound through Matt Kimberley. And that would have been the mark of the day if he had a mark that he got up high on Ruben Ulrich. But couldn't quite handle it in the end. Ball fell away. And Railways were able to clear. Ball goes out wide, and the ball goes out of bounds. So the ball will be brought back in by Northampton's Cale Cripps. Northampton's Cale Cripps, a veteran in the Northampton side these days, been around footy for a long time. Cale Cripps kicks it up forward, looking up there for Kingsley Smith. Ball comes to the ground. The Railways player has the ball held to him. Umpire Pratt said he had no prior opportunity, and the umpire will come in and throw the ball up. So the ball will be thrown up about 30 metres to the southern end of the Malcolm Gould scoreboard, which reads Northampton 5-9-39, leading Railways 3-4-22. 11 and a half minutes gone in this third quarter, with thanks to Drennan O'Malley Motors.
A break in extra time at Brisbane. Glen, still no score in the World Cup game between Australia and France. It looks like it'll go down to penalties. We've got on the far side now, Railways have it through play there in Dion Anthony, sends it into Kimberley now. Kimberley for the Blues, sends it further afield. He finds down the line Jesse Moore, back to Kimberley. I have put many like that together today, but a beautiful kick inside by Kimberley sees the player in Declan Scriven go up and take a mark, a contested mark, but a mark in itself. The ball coming from Scriven now, and he finds Adamini all in his lonesome. Adamini did score a goal from here earlier, but he decides to go short. He's looking for the player there in Dion Anthony. He wasn't ready for it. The ball goes over the back. It's picked up by Cripps now. Cripps for Northampton sends it to the outer side. The ball on the far side, though. See the player there in Kyle Cripps going to ground to try and collect it. He's unable to do so, but they keep it in. They're keeping to Northampton as they send it further afield. They can set something up here as it comes from centre wing, leading into trying Trent Smith. In fact, he did so well to Trent Smith. He saw the ball, he saw the lead, and he took a beautiful mark. And he is a player, Glenn, that we love to come and play, love to come and see, especially at Purcher International Oval.
Yeah, Trent Smith running with the flight of the ball. Very, very clever mark. The ball came over the top of his shoulder. Railways player a little bit unlucky on that occasion. Trent Smith, a very, very clever player.
Bit go-ish, wasn't it?
It was, running with the flight of the ball. So Trent Smith shooting on goal from 35 metres out. Northampton haven't scored a goal in this term, and Railways have scored 1-1. So an opportunity for Northampton to get their first score of the quarter. And Trent Simpson, I should say, gets his first goal of the afternoon and becomes the sixth goal scorer. So Trent Simpson. Looking at the goal scorers for Northampton this afternoon, Cale Cripps has one, Kingsley Smith, Josh Cripps, Braden Jupp, Jack Cripps and Trent Simpson. And for Railways, Jesse Adamini has two, Dylan Anthony has one. We played 13 and a half minutes with thanks to Drennan O'Malley Motors. At Northampton, 6-9-45, Railways 3-4-22. And you're tuned to Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football. Round 14 for Skeeters. Glenn Barnett and Peter Fiorenza keeping you company on a Saturday evening with plenty of sport in store across our state this afternoon.
Yeah, and tonight the Bucks take on the Buildup and they take them on at Bendat Stadium. It's been a good hunting ground in some respects for our very own Bucks. A big crowd in attendance. Hopefully a lot of them will be Geraldton Peoples. The ball goes forward now for Railways off the boot of Giltro. Goes down into the pocket. McKee is there. He's been Rocket Gibraltar this afternoon. He was good at the Country Week campaign for the Great Northern. He's almost caught, but he gets away from that. A beautiful kick out into the wing. He's looking for Carl Cripps. Cripps can't run onto it, but he still keeps it in his keeping as he brings in the player who is around the ball. And a free kick will go the way of Cripps. So at centre wing, Carl Cripps, as we said, a 50-metre penalty going in favour of Cripps on this occasion. So
Carl's had very few of them in his life.
Not in his favour anyway. He's been involved in a lot. So the ball going forward now for Carl Cripps.
Believe his luck.
No. So Carl Cripps, he's brought this right up to just outside the forward 50 now for Northampton. Only a short ground here. Purcher International Oval. The lights are on as he kicks toward the northern end. A nice short kick up. He's looking for Harry Taylor. Harry doesn't take the mark. Spins around on a 50-cent piece. What's he do? The ball bounces in front of the goal square and is able to be knocked through for the minor score. So, as the great Brian Potter Smith would say, Glenn, luck's a fortune.
Well, Harry Taylor's kicked 6 behinds this afternoon, but the ball coming back in wasn't very cleverly dispersed. And Harry Taylor said, look, I've kicked 6 behinds. I'm 40 metres out, directly in front. It's time for me to kick one. He's also been very handy. I'm not knocking him. He's kicked 6 behinds, but he's often not that
inaccurate, is he?
No, he's very seldom, and he'd be the first to acknowledge that. And Harry Taylor shooting on goal from 35 metres out, directly in front. Can he get his first of the afternoon? And he has. So Harry Taylor, the floodgates may open now. He gets his first of the afternoon. He's kicked 1 goal, 6, and on the TMS scoreboard in this third term, with thanks to Glen O'Malley Motors. We've played 16 minutes now, and Northampton are on target to play a second semi-final next weekend against Brigades. Northampton are 7-10-52. They lead Railways 3-4-22. And a really good contest here at Northampton this afternoon. As we head into the evening, still the lights are on, but of course it's a twilight time. It's an awkward time because there isn't a lot of sunlight around, but it's not bad out here. The players can certainly see it. Beautiful conditions for football, as it has been since 4 o'clock this afternoon.
The ball back in the middle. Umpire Pratt throws it up. Up goes the player there in Cripps. He wins over MJ McConnell on this occasion. Going to ground, he tries to bottle it up. Cripps, imagine if they're playing Rovers, we'd have Simpsons and Crippses out there, Glenn.
That's right. It's going to be interesting in a couple of weeks' time if Rovers can get their way through. But yeah, there's 3 Crippses out here this afternoon, all from different families, all related, of course,
yep.
But all different families, and it's good to see. Great, of course, Northampton name, the Cripps. The ball come back into play, and umpire Pratt's picked out a free kick, goes the way of Dion Anthony. He turns the ball over, comes back towards the Northampton player there in Kai McVee. Kai McVee is tackled, thrown to the ground. Umpire said he had no prior opportunity, and umpire Pratt will come in and throw up the ball this afternoon. In earlier games today, Brigades were 100-point winners over Chapman Valley, and Rovers were 20-point winners over Towns. Ball comes back into play. This is round 14 for Skeeter's Restaurant, as we see Northampton go forward through Caddy, looking there for Simpson. Ball comes out, goes back to Caddy. Caddy to Simpson. Goes back looking there for a teammate. Northampton flying high, fighting hard for the ball. And umpire has no option to come in and bounce the ball up or throw the ball up. Declan Scriven, since he's had his head put on with the tape, he continues to work hard, so he doesn't miss the beat. Declan Scriven, he's certainly a competitor. Haven't seen a lot of Anderson this afternoon.
No, he's been quiet, hasn't he?
Goes the way of Simpson again. Railways defenders are under a fair bit of pressure. They're doing well. Whistle on play. Umpire said he had no prior opportunity. Umpire Luxton, one of the senior umpires in the GNFL, will come and throw the ball up. Umpire's doing a marvellous job this afternoon and getting themselves prepared for the finals as the players are here at Northampton.
Umpire Luxton played on this ground a lot, spent a lot of time adjacent at the high school, Glen, as principal, so that's not too far away from where we are this afternoon. The ball just inside the forward 50, out of defence it comes, but goes away now of the captain in Braden Jupp. He sends it inside the corridor. It's a good kick if it goes away of Northampton here. If the bounce is kind, it could be another goal, but the defence for Railways, including Ulrich and Co, are working overtime to ensure that it's bottled up once again. So in the shadows of the goals here at the northern end for Northampton. The ball's about to be thrown up. 7-10 plays 3-4 in favour of the Rams. Up they go. Being watched like a hawk as Harry Taylor goes to ground, comes out of the pack. Harry Taylor gets it again. A handball away to a teammate who shoots on goal. That player is Paletti, and that is a fine goal to Northampton, and they really have come to play this afternoon. Northampton 8 goals 10 now, lead Railways 3-4.
Yes, Jaden Paletti becomes another goal scorer, and the good thing I guess about today, Peter, would be say that they've been able to share the goals. It hasn't all been the Harry Taylor show, although Harry another assist, so he's had 3 assists.
If he was in basketball, he'd be getting a lot of stats.
Yeah. So he's had 3 assists and he's kicked 6 behinds and kicked 1 goal, but he's been in everything. But Jaden Paletti becomes the 8th goal scorer for Northampton, so they've had 8 single goal scorers, which is always good. You need multiple goal scorers to win a final, and Northampton are sharing it around, they're sharing the love, and they look on target to take the second semi-final berth now. Northampton on the TMS scoreboard are 8-10, 58, Railways 3-4, 22.
Yeah, 36 points in arrears are Railways. It'll be hard to come back as we head toward three-quarter time, and there is Henry Anderson. He's been quiet this afternoon, kicks into the half-forward area. Not a bad kick into space. Railways can do something here, or can they?
Jack McQuaig got a free kick.
He's been playing good this afternoon.
He's a good player. We love him. He's grown on us since his performances at Country Week. And Jack McQuaig, good young man, good young player. As we see Tyler Caddy rebound there. Tyler Caddy back from injury, gets it up towards half forward, looking there for the player there in Cripps. Ball runs away. This time it's Kale Cripps, putting good pressure on the Railways player. And that's what you've got to love. Umpire Cohen says, give it to me, gentlemen. I'll throw the ball up. It's on the outer side, near the Ram Pavilion, just about 30 metres away from the TMS scoreboard, the new electronic scoreboard. And we're pretty wrapped with the electronic scoreboards that we've got around the place now. Towns have a nice one. Brigades have a nice one. So too do Northampton, which makes life very easy when it comes to calling
the biggest margin of the day at the moment, Glenn.
Yes. So a very handy 36-point margin, as Peter mentioned. So Railways got the work to do. They are very close to full strength. Northampton also very close to full strength. So gives you a little bit of an insight of what may happen come finals time. Ball with Ryan Latesia. They've got him on the ball in this third quarter, trying to get some action. Latesia, big kick up towards centre wing. In goes the Railways player there, Jack Connell. He wears a helmet. He couldn't handle the ball. Ball goes off hands. Whistle on play. Northampton to get the free kick. Northampton will go back, and the player with the free kick is Jack Cripps. He's worked hard this afternoon. So Jack Cripps, short pass, finds Tyler Caddy. Tyler Caddy, hard-working midfielder, goes to another hard-working midfielder, and Jamie Williams. Jamie Williams in the centre of the ground for the Rams. Great player is Jamie Williams. Let's see how he uses it this time. Big kick, big 45-metre kick up into the air. Harry Taylor's there. Ball comes to ground. Whistle on play. Umpire's seen a free kick. And Harry Taylor is going to get a free kick. And the Railways players are asking the question. But Harry Taylor has got his opportunity to get 2 goals in as many minutes. So Harry Taylor, can he get his second goal? Harry Taylor, he'll kick from 35 metres out, almost directly in front. And of course the premiership player, 2 times All-Australian, having a shot for his hometown, Northampton. Played 2 of the last 3 years. Last year, of course, he was back in Geelong working at the Cats. There goes his kick. Looks pretty good off the boot, but offline. So another minor score. He may have 7 points.
At Country Week, he did get a groin injury, Glenn, and maybe it's still hampering him a little bit.
Yeah, he's not kicking through the ball, is he?
Not,
he's sort of stabbing at it.
No.
So he's kicked 7 points this afternoon. So he's kicked 7 points. He's assisted on 3 occasions. He's kicked 1 goal. Still been a very, very clearly a dominant player because he's such a big man and such a quality player. But three-quarter time at the football here at Purcher International Oval, and at three-quarter time with thanks to Drilling O'Malley Motors, Northampton are 8-11, 59. They lead Railways 3-4, 22. And you're tuned to Radio Mumma. We're the home of GNFL football.
Drilling O'Malley Motors.
73. Goal scorers for Northampton to this point in this game. Northampton leading by 37 points. Carl Cripps, Kingsley Smith, Josh Cripps, Braden Jupp, Jack Cripps, Trent Simpson, Harry Taylor, and Jaden Paletti. They kicked one apiece. Jesse Adamini, the only multiple goal scorer of the afternoon. Dion Anthony has one. Ball back in the centre, and Ryan Latesia gets the best of the ruck knock. Goes the way of Blake Bunter, who has the ball held to him. A free kick has been picked out. Goes the way of Jace Price. Jace Price in the Railways colours this year. Plays on quickly. Kicks it up towards half forward. Looking there for Jackson Graham. Ball goes over the back. Picked up by Blake Bunter. He puts it on his left boot. Kicks it up forward. Looking up there for Mick McConnell. McConnell can't control the ball. He's tackled. Umpire might pin him. He's lucky he didn't get caught for holding the ball because he had prior opportunity, one would have thought, as umpire Pratt to throw the ball up deep in the forward pocket. So the big fellas will go at it. McConnell can do the rucking, and so too can Cripps. Ball picked up by the player there in McVie. Kai McVie kicks it back towards half back. Goes the way of Latesia. By hand to Bunter. By hand towards Kimberley. Kimberley gets it on boot, but it goes the way of Kingsley Smith. Kingsley Smith gives it the way of Jack Cripps. Jack Cripps gets it up the centre wing, out of side, and finds Trent Simpson.
Narrowed down to three good players in the last term. Glenn for Northampton, vying for the Swedish best, Skiers best on ground. Harry Taylor, Kingsley Smith, and Carl Cripps.
Yeah, Railways, they went a bit quiet in that quarter. Delaney continues to work hard. Delaney, also Anthony, Giltro, Graham, Michael McConnell. But yeah, very ordinary quarter by Railways in that third quarter. And Northampton have got the march on them now.
Probably could put Paletti in there as well, Glenn, because he's got a bit of the ball this afternoon as he heads it down into the half-forward area.
Taylor again.
And Harry takes another mark. So Harry Taylor is on show this afternoon, as you'd expect. Harry Taylor kicking from a tight angle. He's going to come around the man on the mark. He knows how to do these check side kicks. Anyone that's played in the AFL certainly does, and they do them pretty well. So he's kicking toward the southern end. He's about 30 metres out, perhaps 25. Looks not too bad off the boot, but it has missed again. Comes off hands and goes through for the minor score. So the scoreboard rolls over here. The Purcher International Oval, 8-12-80, plays 3-4-22. Northampton in the lead.
So Harry Taylor, good kick, just didn't have the distance on that occasion as Railways run the ball out of defence. Railways have it through the Tessia. Short pass into the centre. Hard-working player there, Matt Kimberley, goes by hand to Dion Drage. Dion Drage kicks it up towards half forward. Railways running with the flight of the ball there as Elliot Delaney, Northampton player, sees the ball across the boundary line. So there's a boundary throw in on the outer side of Purcher International Oval over there, the Ram Pavilion. Of course, show day not far away for the Northampton show. And they always have a lovely show up here at Northampton. So if you're planning your times, Northampton show day, always a good day. It's a couple of weeks after the GNFL Grand Final. Ball comes the way of the Railways. The Railways get it away to Cody Giltro. Gets it up forward, looking there for MJ McConnell. Whistle on play. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. We're into the last quarter. The last quarter with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. 3 minutes gone, and it is a good margin. 38 points in favour of the Rams, the home side, and they look destined to play the second semi-final next Saturday, and that will be an interesting contest all indeed when they play Brigades out at GBSC Sports Park.
Jace Price sends it forward into the half-forward area inside the forward 50 for Railways. At the bottom of the pack, Delaney trying to argue for a free kick as he battles away with his opponent. There's a bit of a push and shove as we see him and McKee go at it. Delaney calling for a bit of help there. The umpire comes away from that bit of a scuffle and the ball will be thrown in. So the ball not far from the goal for Railways. Desperately need another score as the ball comes out of the fence now and it's picked up and then that player is thrown down. That is Dion. In fact, that player is Kyle McVie. Kyle McVie is brought to ground and a free kick will go the way now of Jesse Moore. Jesse Moore, the veteran. I haven't seen a lot of Jesse today. He likes playing up forward and down back, but he is a goal sneak through his history. He has shown that. And now Jesse Moore. He'll kick from just in front of our broadcast position here for Radio Rummer, as Glenn always says, the best seats in the house. But a few people have come to collect seats this afternoon because this game is very, very important indeed. Jesse Moore. He'll kick from about 40 when he gets onto this one. Kicking toward the Northampton end, northern end. It's going to drop short. Comes off hands and through for the minor score. So ticking over for Railways, 3-6. They trail Northampton 8-12.
So Northampton coming out of defence. A few players doing a little bit of pushing and shoving. They have to be a little bit careful. No one wants to get reported on the eve of the finals, so the players want to be very, very careful in the way they behave from this point. Josh Cripps takes the mark now, gets it up towards centre wing, finds Jack Cripps. Jack Cripps back to Josh Cripps, and Josh Cripps has the ball on half back. Josh Cripps is in the midfield where he finds Bo Walker. Bo Walker in the centre of the ground, brings it across towards centre wing, club room side, and finds Cale Cripps. Cale plays on with a short pass, and finds Jack Cripps again. So it's a bit of the Cripps show at the moment. So Jack Cripps plays it out towards a teammate. This time it is a Jai McVie. He goes by hand to a teammate. Kai McVie gets it out this time. So there's a few players sharing the ball. Comes away to Josh Cripps on this occasion. Josh Cripps gets it forward and finds a teammate there in Kingsley Smith.
And McVie and Cripps are actually going head-to-head in a few hours' time over there in Melbourne, if they haven't started already, when Melbourne come up against Carlton again.
Yes, exactly. So there's a lot happening in the Cripps family this evening as the ball goes forward, and the McVie family. So Harry Taylor has the ball. He's deep in the left forward pocket, right on the boundary line, kicking to the golf club end. As we said, Harry's had an interesting night.
Into penalties over there in Brisbane, Glenn.
Okay, so it's getting tight now in Brisbane. Not so tight here. Northampton on target for a second semi-final berth. Harry Taylor shoots on goal.
He's got one.
45. That's his second of the afternoon. So Harry Taylor gets his second. So Harry now has kicked 2 goals and he's kicked 7 behinds. But he's had a good day out. There's no doubt about that. Clearly one of Northampton's better players. And on the TMS scoreboard, Northampton a 9-12-66. They lead Railways 3-5-23. So 66 plays 23 in favour of the Rams. Northampton will play in the second semi-final next weekend, and that will be at GBSC Sports Park. That'll be against Brigades. And the first semi-final will be a very interesting contest indeed between Railways and Rovers. Railways and Rovers.
We're going to have a busy weekend next weekend, Glenn.
Yeah, always look forward to being on Radio Mama, so we're certainly going to have a lot of footy next weekend. And as we mentioned, the first semi-final is played on the Sunday, and that'll be at WA Country Builder Stadium at Wonthella. So that'll be Railways and Rovers, and Brigades will be playing Northampton in the second semi-final. So start organising your weekend ahead, because it's going to be very, very busy indeed. So plenty of reasons to have footy by your side next weekend in the GNFL.
Yes, tomorrow, friends, are on Sunday. Catching up with some ladies, Glenn, that are keen to keep Geraldton pretty green. And what I mean by green is to give everyone plants to put in their verges and keep us a nice leafy place.
It would be nice to see a little bit more greenness around. It can get pretty harsh, as we know. We do have harsh summers, but we can plant some native trees to make our streetscapes look a little bit more green. Would be lovely, wouldn't it? And a little bit cooler, because it can look pretty harsh come summertime in Geraldton and the Midwest.
The ball on the far side now, almost at centre wing. It's momentarily getting dark here. The lights are on at Purcher International Oval. Twilight game here, as they have been throughout the season. Glenn, do you think the twilight games will continue next year up here?
Well, Northampton believe it helps their volunteers, but as a spectator, I'm not a big fan of the twilight game. I think we have beautiful conditions here this afternoon. It would have been nice to see the game played in true sunlight, but you know, if it works for the club, you've got to give them that opportunity. But I'd prefer to see the games played in daylight. Of course, maybe early in the season and late in the season you could play a night game here and there, but I think it would be nice. It's a bit of a tough one too, because it's competing shortly with the game that's going on, which no one would have known prior, the Women's World Cup. But of course we've got the Dockers and the Eagles playing in the Western Derby
and the Bucks.
And the Bucks, so no one would have known that prior to the season, but there's plenty of things happening across Australia in the way of sport. But yeah, if it works, it's all good. Looks like there may have been a score on the soccer. The crowd
let's say in favour of Australia by the sounds of it.
Yeah, so let's hope that is a good opportunity. The shootouts are on in the Women's World Cup there in Brisbane between Australia and France. So let's hope Australia, it sounds like they may have got a score on the board. Whistle on play, and umpire Luxett said the player had no prior opportunity. That player is Callum Teakle, and Callum was involved a little bit earlier on, and he's involved again in defence. Umpire Paul Luxett puts the ball into the air, ball slapped forward, goes the way of Bo Walker. Bo Walker copped one high. It was tackled high, nothing meant by it. It was just tackled high, so Bo Walker naturally gets the free kick. So Bo Walker, one of the very, very talented players in the Northampton lineup.
Australia 1, France 0.
Okay, let's hope that can extend. Goes the way now of Braden Jupp, the captain for Northampton, as he gets the ball up towards half forward. Looking there for Trent Simpson. Simpson cleverly slaps it over. Looks for Harry Taylor. Harry Taylor feeds it back towards Trent Simpson. Trent Simpson shoots on goal. So another assist there to Harry Taylor. So Harry Taylor's now had 4 assists this afternoon. Trent Simpson gets his second goal of the afternoon, and Northampton are running away here at Purcher International Oval. 11 minutes played in this final quarter, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants, and Northampton 10-12-72 lead Railways 3-5-23 on the TMS scoreboard.
Trent Simpson, he is certainly knows what to do when he's around the goals, Glenn, and that was a lovely goal, finished off a nice passage of play, and Northampton have the handy lead 10-11-72. They lead Railways 3-5-23. Ball back in the middle now. Harry Taylor's coming to get a taste of it in the middle too, Glenn. So he's everywhere as Harry Taylor.
And he must be over his injury.
Where's Harry? Where's Wally?
Yeah, that's right. So he's played pretty well this afternoon.
Yeah, but he's tentative in his kicking, as we said.
Yeah.
That's he knows how to nurse those things. It goes away now, Braden Jupp. He's played good this afternoon. Captain Courageous, as I mentioned. The ball going the way of Taylor Catt. He's almost bottled up, caught in possession, and a free kick going the way of Adamini. Adamini now is 1-1 in the World Cup at the moment. 1-1. So the ball going forward now for Jackson Graham for Railways under the scoreboard. He's having a bit of a push and shove with Kai McVie. And a free kick will go the way of the player there for Railways, and that is Dion Anthony. So Dion Anthony's first game back, he's feeling his way. He's a bit, isn't he, Glenn?
He is, but he'll be better for the run. We know he's a great player, and he'll certainly get back into form pretty quick, get a few miles in his legs over next week, and get himself prepared for the first semi-final against Rovers. What I've liked about Northampton, are very hard at the ball, and Brigades are going to have to come to play, because Northampton have some very, very good hard workers. Tyler Caddy, they've got Jamie Williams. There's some really good names in the Northampton lineup, so I think it's going to be a little bit tougher than we perhaps thought earlier on. I know Brigades have got some great players as well, but I'm quite convinced it'll be a great second semi-final next weekend.
Yeah, and if they get through, then they get their big ruckman back too, Northampton, don't they?
That's right. I don't think he'll play next week.
No.
He flies in from overseas after must be 8 or 10 weeks, so he won't play next week, I wouldn't think. But if he gets Northampton through, Josh Cripps is doing a fine job, as we see another score being...
Yeah, 2-1 to France, whether I think Australia might have equalled that. We'll just see.
Okay.
It is 2-1 to France at the moment.
As Jesse Adamini feeds a handball out to Drew Tunbridge. Drew Tunbridge runs towards the 50-metre line. Big kick towards goal, but riding back with the floating ball is Jack McQuee. He takes a good mark. Railways player slaps the ball forward. Ball goes out of bounds. And Cody Giltro, he's really one of the shining lights for the Blues this afternoon.
Not much of him, Glenn.
No, I love the way he plays. He throws everything at him, at it. And, like we said earlier, he's only played 3 or 4 league games this year. And he's been...
2-2 in Brisbane.
2-2, so yeah, 2 very talented sides going at it. So it's not a nice way for the game to come to an end when it's a shootout, a penalty shootout.
No.
But it's the way it is, and let's hope Australia can get one up in the not too distant future. As with the ball thrown up goes the way of Harry Taylor. Whistle on play. Umpire said no. Player had no prior opportunity. So 14 minutes gone in this final term, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. Round 14, the final round of GNFL fixtures for Skeeters this afternoon. and this evening. Of course, earlier games today, games played at Brigades. The top side Brigades had a 100-point win over the fifth side Chapman Valley, and Rovers, the fourth side, had a 20-point win over the sixth side Towns. So Towns have improved. Last time they played against Rovers, it was 131 points to margin in favour of Rovers. So it either means Towns have improved a lot, or Rovers haven't improved much at all. So at score now, France 3 to Australia 2. So it's getting very tight. So they must be doing very well, all the scoring. So let's hope Australia can keep in the game.
Goal for goal.
Ball will be thrown up again. Middle stages of this final term. Harry Taylor slaps the ball to ground. Goes the way of Bo Walker. Railways player has the ball held to him. Had no prior opportunity. That's Matt Kimberley. Umpire Ruckton speaks to Bo Walker about that. So like I said, players want to be very, very careful. They wouldn't want to do something silly in the closing minutes of this game and not be available for next week. And a stacks on the mill, as they say. As the big fella.
I love how the players just jump on each other when that happens.
So MJ McConnell jumps on the top, and umpire drags them all off. And there's three blokes jumping on each other. Theon Anthony might have been feeling a bit squashed at the bottom of it. But ball comes the way. And once again, the umpire will throw the ball up. So the game drifting away to a pretty ordinary end, perhaps. Both sides probably pretty tight.
3-all in Brisbane.
3-all in Brisbane. So Australia 3, France 3. So let's hope it's about time France miss one. And Australia hopefully can take a little bit of an opportunity. But yeah, it's
a goalkeeper for Australia. I've been impressed with her, though.
Yeah, I love the way she goes about her work. I love the way she throws herself forward every time she gets the ball.
Very attacking goalkeeper.
Yeah, she's a ripper. The ball comes back into play. Umpire Ruckton has no opportunity other than to throw the ball up. So that's where we're at. Ball going up and down. Once again, there's 6 or 7 players up. Goes the way of Kyla Caddy. Ball comes the way of the Railways player there, and Dion Drage. He gets the ball forward. Pack around the ball. Umpire asking the call. Not sure whether the crowd are watching the footy or watching the soccer at the moment, because there's lots of oohing and ahhing
going away to Delaney, Glenn.
Yeah, Elliot Delaney's come up forward to kick a goal. So Elliot's played most of the game in defence. He's been a good hard worker this afternoon. There goes Delaney's kick. He's a very good kicker of the football. But unfortunately for Elliot, he's hit the goalpost. So minor score results. And on TMS scoreboard, it is Railways 3-7-25. They trail Northampton 10-12.
He seems to have a love-hate relationship with the Northampton crowd.
He does. Yeah, I think Carl Cripps might have told him about him. Yeah, because he's certainly enjoying getting a little bit of treatment from the crowd, who are enjoying every time Elliot has a bit of misfortune. Whistle on play. Umpire Pratt will come in and throw the ball up. Both clubs have gone at it really hard this afternoon. And as you'd expect, they had a lot to play for. The second semi-final berth was up for grabs. So we can tell you that Northampton will play Brigades in the second semi-final. Railways will play Rovers in the first semi-final. Both games played next weekend. Ball goes the way of Cam Holmes. Gets the ball forward. Whistle on play. And the umpire's going to bring the ball back. So the ball will come back, and Northampton will have the ball on centre wing. And the ball will be with Michael Wright. Michael Wright, who's had a very good season for Northampton, playing off a half-back line or a back pocket some occasions. So the ball with Michael Wright on centre wing. And Declan Scriven, the man with his head wrapped up because he must have got a cut early on. Ball goes the way of Michael Wright. Goes out along the boundary line, very close to the boundary line. And the ball taken by the Northampton player there. A good mark taken by Bo Walker. Bo Walker puts it on his left boot, kicks it up towards half forward. But Railways have the numbers there in defence, and Railways mop up through Tunbridge. He goes out wide, finds a teammate. That teammate feeds it out to the player there who does well in the young fella from Railways in Ted Kerr. Ted Kerr gets it up towards half forward.
4-all in Brisbane.
Okay, good news. We're still in the game. Ball comes forward, goes the way back towards Michael Wright. Michael Wright with a short pass finds Josh Cripps. Josh Cripps on half back, wanting to get the ball on. So Josh Cripps wanting to get the ball on now, does so, puts it on his left boot. He's had another impressive game with the Rams. Ball slapped forward, goes the way of Cam Holmes. A pack around the ball, picked up by Kyle Cripps. This has been a good build-up for both these clubs. They've had to work hard this afternoon. Goes the way of Northampton as they run forward. Bertolo gives it towards Trent Simpson, and Trent Simpson gets his third of the afternoon. And Northampton on target to a big win here at Purcher International Oval. We've played 19 and a half minutes in this final term, with thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants. And Trent Smith with his third goal sees Northampton tick over to 11 goals, 12-78. They lead Railways 3-7-25.
Yeah, Trent Simpson, Trent Smith, he plays under the pseudonyms, both of them, but he does pretty well, and he certainly knows how to find the goals, as we've mentioned, as we get to the dying stages of this particular game. 11-12, it is at Northampton, a handy lead over Railways 3-7. That's 11-12-78 to Railways 3-7-25. As we spoke this morning to Grady Tomilty, he's got a bit of a luxury with the lineup he has, hasn't he?
He has, and they're looking very, very good. There's no doubt about that. Tyler Caddy back in the midfield. Bo Walker back in the side. Josh Cripps has done pretty well. As we see the ball in the half-forward line, goes the way of Michael Wright. He runs around an opponent, runs towards goal. Michael Wright gets another one on the goal for Northampton. So he becomes the ninth goal scorer of the afternoon. So they're doing it easy now. The Rams, Michael Wright gets a goal, his first. He's playing in defence, and Northampton doing very well on the scoreboard now for TMS. And Northampton 12-12, 84 lead Railways 3-7-25.
Gee, they're scoring scoring 1 for 1 over there in Brisbane at the moment, Glenn, and it only leaves one goalkeeper to make an error, and it'll probably be all over. But at the moment, France 5-5, Australia and France, so goal for goal. So, geez, it is tender hooks there in Brisbane.
Yeah, very tough indeed. Been a really good quarter for Northampton. They kicked 4 goals unanswered in this term. They kicked the last goal of the third term, so really 5 goals unanswered. So it's been a very, very good last part of the game.
Coming back to Northampton, Glenn, talking about Grady Tomilty and the luxury he has with his side, he's had to manage things because he's had a lot of players that are working on swings.
Yeah, that's right. He has Jack Cripps, and also he has Kingsley Smith, who come in and out every second week. And of course he's had Tyler Caddy, who was injured. Tyler Caddy has the ball now. Tyler Caddy's come back into contention. We've had injuries along the way, as you always do. And of course he's had...
And losing his ruckman
early on. Yeah, so he's been able to manage it pretty well. But he's been able to keep the core group there. And there's still some very good players that aren't in this lineup who will be pushing for selection. So it's a very good performance from Northampton today. And I think Brigades, although will probably start favourites because they sit on top of the premiership table, clearly on top, Northampton would be very happy with the way they are going into the game today because they've had a really good workout, a really tough workout. It's been a finals-like atmosphere for 3 quarters at least until Railways have drifted away a little bit in this last quarter. 37 points the margin at 3-quarter time. It's now blown out quite considerably, so a very good strong quarter where Northampton have kicked 4 goals in this final term for thanks to GT Russell Chartered Accountants on Grenell O'Malley Motors game day. As the ball comes out, goes the way of a Northampton player who's tackled, and Brandon Jupp feeds a handball out. Once again a big pack develops. Umpires ask the question, the umpire will come in and throw the ball up once again. So time ticking by, we're into the time on, clearly 23 minutes gone in this final time. So Northampton 12-12 goal in Brisbane. Well, that's a bonus. Let's hope we can get the next one through. There must be a penalty here, 50-metre penalty given away. So Kingsley Smith gave that one away. Well, he's standing the mark, so I don't know whether he gave it away, but he's standing the mark. So Railways off half-back through Ted Kerr, goes out wide, finds the hard-running Railways player there in Cody Giltro. Cody Giltro gets it on, finds Letessia. Letessia on half-forward, kicks into the man on the mark. Jack McCoy has the wind knocked right out of him, but he goes back in. So time running out for Railways. Northampton are through to a second semi-final.
With the cloud cover at the moment, Glenn, it's almost moonlight that we're playing under.
And there's the siren. Full time of the football. The last game of the afternoon. And the last game at Purcher International Oval for 2023 in the home and away season. And Northampton can be very proud of their performance this afternoon. Northampton are through to a second semi-final. Northampton 12 goals, 84, and they've defeated Railways pretty easily in the end. Railways 3-7-25, and you're tuned to Radio Mama, the home of GNFL football.
Our Drennan O'Malley Motors game day.